It was an incredible day. I got a phone call from Sviki Gottesman. Dovid, we are collecting clothing, furniture, anything that you need that you can imagine the families from the hurricane victims needed. And do you have anything for us? I said, sure, come on over. So I came over, I gave him a changing table, a day bed, a mattress, and they were in and out like that. He was with Ezra Bennett, and they went to Mo Stein's house. I dropped by later on, there was something I forgot. And the driveway is filled with cars and people. They're loading them up, boxes going here, tagging, where, this, that, inventorying. And it woke me up. It was like, wow, we really, I guess, have a lot to do, a lot to help with. Within a short amount of time, we had a whole group of people. Shragi Lieber was running pretty much most of it at that point. And they had trucks going almost every day filled with merchandise and family needs, whatever people needed. It became so big that we were sending things that not everyone always needed. So we became a little more organized, and we started this group called WH Relief. It's a group of volunteers from Muncie, and we created a list from 15 different shoals, and every shoal had a point person, and every point person had his posse of people that he got together when there was a need. So we'd call David Katz from the Bayswater community, or Rachel Heller, and they would tell us, this person's house is flooding, can you please get us a crew? And we'd make a phone call, send out an email to the group, to the list, we need the following 3 houses covered, need some volunteers. So Matti Naiman would get together his chevra, or someone else would get together his chevra, and they would be there with fishing gear all the way up, and the pumps. Abe Grossberger would spend nights. He spent nights, many nights, emptying people's homes out, emptying his own merchandise, using their own supplies, and it really was moving. This just flied. It just went from one phone call into a whole organization, gutting people's homes Sunday afternoons. There was a holiday weekend, Thanksgiving, people weren't at home. This was already a few weeks later. But even as far as Thanksgiving weekend, people were going with their hacksaws and the backpacks filled with whatever they needed, and they were gutting 4 feet straight down across the person's first floor. If the basement had flooded, they would take the whole thing out. We had crews from construction folks here in Muncie. They took their staff and they sent them there for days at a time to go empty and help people get the homes empty so the mold doesn't spread. It was an unbelievable thing. A Klal Yisrael came together. We had a 2-crew team handling generators. It was Mo Stein and Ezra Bennett. They were responsible for finding, sourcing generators and delivering them to the houses that needed to get to, or getting them on the truck that would deliver it, and then someone on the other side, oops, let's turn that off. Someone on the other side would go ahead and they would take it. Let's shut that one off too. So what would happen at that point, the people on the other side heard WH Relief is someone that can help out and they can make things happen. So we set up a website with a hotline and a phone number and an email address, and before you knew it, we had families calling and it became out of control. We couldn't handle it. So we now had a point person on our side handling clothing, another person handling generators, another person handling money needs. If someone had financial needs, we went and raised money. We had, I think it was 1,000 or 2,000 pairs of socks that we sent out to one request. Winter coats, it goes on and on and on. So when a family needed something, they gave us a list. And then Stacy Ziegler, with a whole group of ladies, took the list and they went shopping. And then they went ahead and then they sent it over. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. One lady called up and said, you know, my husband got a gift card for a store and he wouldn't have bought himself a suit had we not sent it in a gift card for a men's store. He said, I would have bought my kids. They come first. Give them what they need, my wife. But he needed a suit. He didn't have a suit to wear. We were able to help. It was really cool. Something that you don't get to do. You don't get to see it too often, and we should know these things. But the chesed that Klal Yisrael came together was something that you have to transfer to the children and let them all see. The Met Council sent 20,000 FEMA meals that went to all the different communities. I was in touch with them. We were getting stuff sent. Zakarin upstate sent 15,000 utensils for meals. on plastic disposable, amazing savings filled homes with heaters. We just made calls. Whoever we knew that we had a source, we found them. And that's what you really have to do. When it comes to these types of situations, Klal Yisrael has to go out of their comfort zone. You got to get out of your box, and you just have to jump in and do it, even if it means putting 500 gallons in the back of a truck and driving it. But I wouldn't say anyone ever would do that, of course not. And getting the 5-gallon tanks filled and filled and filled. And we had a revolving truck just going back and forth, filling and going back, emptying the canisters, filling people's cars, going back and forth, filling the generators. It's something that doesn't happen every day. Oh, here's something unbelievable. I called up a friend of mine who lives in Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, and I told him and his wife about what was going on, and his wife said, I got it, we'll take care of it. And they called the mayor, and they had a community-wide fundraiser to bring clothing and funds to the victims of Hurricane Sandy. We drove home, I forgot how many minivans, but I think it was 4 or 5 minivans. It was equivalent of a full truck of good, nice quality clothing. Winter coats, suits, dresses, and funds, and clothing, and food, kosher food. We sent a ton of clothing from a community that had nothing to do with any of the 5 towns, Bayswater, Cedarhurst, anybody, but because we asked them, they said, okay, sure, of course we'll help out. And they stepped up to the plate and they did it. You have to do that. It's a big lesson to take from this. Kol Yisrael, we're all one together. My right arm hurts, then my left arm hurts. And my left arm hurt a lot. Our left arms hurt a lot. And I can go on and on, but I think that's really the point. Let's all remember that. Right arm and left arm. It's going to always hurt, but you got to make it feel better. And it's all the tov.